Paper towel tubes can be a lot of fun. You can play pirates with them. Pretend this is your scope so that you can look out and find enemy ships. Aye, enemy flag off the port bow. Cargo ship, no guns, full speed ahead. Prepare to board, get your swords. We will feast at our captain's table tonight. But the same thing that makes paper towel tubes fun is often a problem. Tunnel vision. An inability to look around and see the big picture, to consider all the facts and figures, to question how events are affecting those who don't fall directly in our line of sight, those we don't usually consider to be like us. Tunnel vision, it's when we look, but we don't see. I grew up in the woods, playing, hunting, fishing, and when you do those things, you hopefully learn to see. Now, I haven't hunted in years and years, but even with my eyes going, my family will tell you that living with me, it's irritating. Driving a car, I'm always like, hawk, hawk, over there, over there. Ooh, fox, fox, you see a fox? Deer, deer, there's a deer. Baby goats, baby goats. And because none of them did what I did as a kid, a lot of times they don't see it. Even as I pointed out, even though I'm driving, even as my wife is saying, watch the road. But I am watching the road. You grow up in the woods and hopefully you learn to see the world around you. You learn to pick up movement out of the corner of your eye that signals life. This is, to say the least, a perplexing parable. And it helps us to remember, again, that parables, they can have multiple interpretations. So I guess this is my reading for today. 5 bridesmaids are smart, 5 aren't. 5 bring extra oil so they'll be ready for the party which has been delayed. 5 just bring the oil in their lamps. The delay drags on, everybody falls asleep, and then at midnight, the bridegroom is announced and the bridesmaids are on. But only the ones who brought the extra oil have enough oil to join the procession. And when the foolish maids return from buying oil, the bridegroom doesn't recognize them. When I was a kid, by the way, I used to consider this a very scary story about how I might go to hell for reasons I really didn't understand. I don't see it that way anymore. For me, this is a story of seeing rather than having tunnel vision. The wise ladies have looked at the whole situation and they've seen maybe things will get delayed, so they're prepared. The unwise ladies just filled their lamps and ran to be in the right spot, and they lose out. And when the kingdom comes, the bridegroom says, "Who are you?" Exactly. But there's a second part to my reading, and it has to do with this oil. We talk about doing in our lives what Jesus did. Bring the kingdom of God into our midst. And we have become so fixated as a society on heaven, we tend to overlook the fact that Jesus was usually talking about bringing the kingdom of God into our life on earth. The kingdom of God is among you, within you, around you. And what is the fuel, the oil that this kingdom runs on? Living a life of active compassion. Meeting the needs of others. Seeing Jesus in your neighbor. That's what keeps the oil jar full. That's what the bridegroom notices. That is what makes us an active part of the kingdom. But if you have tunnel vision, forget it. You're not going to see that kid who needs mentorship. You're not going to think about the 10,000 hungry bellies we are trying to fill with our Rise Against Hunger meal packing event. You won't see the food bank basket out by the back door. You might not even notice your neighbor in tears when you're marching to your mailbox. You're not going to be filling your lamp. When you have tunnel vision, you're only thinking about yourself, only seeing for yourself and your immediate needs, even if that's not your intention. When we have tunnel vision, we're not looking and seeing the big picture. We're not doing the kingdom. We are missing the party. A lot of times, catching a glimpse of Jesus in this life is a lot like catching the movement of a hawk far off in the field out of the corner of your eye. Catching the chance to serve Jesus. It can be much the same. Jesus says, let the one who has eyes see. We need to have our eyes open. We need to be looking around. Don't you want to see? Don't you want to join the party? Don't you want to bring the kingdom into your life? Face each day and ask, how? How can I be active in my compassion for others, for this world? Do that. Keep doing that. And you will see. Your flask of oil will always